In this Moodle tutorial, we're going to look at how you can create a quiz that gives formative feedback to students so they don't just learn if they're right or wrong, but why their answers and choices are right or wrong. Here's one example. If a work is in public domain, it means, and you have to select one or more, there may be more than one option. So the student reads through them and says, I think it's this one right here. They now have a check button where right there during the quiz, remember this is not for a final assessment, but for a formative assessment, they can check their response. They click the check button and it comes back with why it is incorrect. It says down here your answer is incorrect, and then in yellow highlight it explains a little bit more detail about why that option was not right. Then students have the option to try another question like this one. They click it and the screen clears, and I have the option set up in the quiz that the answers get shuffled, so they can't just remember it's number 1 or number 2. They get shuffled. They have to know the words. So here I'm going to say, well, I think it's this one. You can copy it without getting permission from anyone. So I'll check that one. That is one of the correct answers, but down here it says your answer is partially correct, meaning there's at least one more option. And it not only just tells me it's correct, it tells me a little bit more detail of why it's correct. So if I didn't get it when I read through my resources, my learning resources, my textbook, I now have it. Try another one. And I'm just going to go ahead and say these two right here and check. And yes, your answer is completely correct. Your answer is correct, explains why they're correct. So formative assessments give students an opportunity not just to know if they're right or wrong, but why their selections are right or wrong. So how do you set up a quiz like this? Well, let's go to the quiz settings under the administration, quiz administration. I'm going to edit the settings for the quiz and show you how I set this up. Here is my quiz that I set up. Timing really doesn't matter. I'm leaving everything open. The grade, you can put up grade in here if you want, but I'm giving them unlimited attempts. The layout of the question, I may just want one question on a page because I really want them to focus on that concept. The question behavior, I do want to shuffle it. They should have immediate feedback. So the review options are really critical. In the review option during the attempt, you do want students to see the specific and general feedback, but really nothing else. And I'll go into more detail about where that information is located. After the attempt, I'll let them see everything but the right answer. Once the quiz is closed, I'll show them the right answer, but I bet they figure it out before then. And now I want to show you where I actually edited that particular question. So under quiz administration, I'm going to edit the actual quiz, not the settings, but the actual quiz, which allows me to go into my question by clicking on it. And here's my question. My points. Here is where you can put general feedback. General feedback will appear anytime they click check my answer. They will see this feedback. On this particular one, I had multiple answers allowed. Often you just have one answer. I do want to shuffle the choices so they don't just remember it's number 1 and number 2. I want them to know what the answers actually are. So as I go down, here's their first choice. I write it in here. It's incorrect, so they get a grade of none. Here's your specific feedback. It doesn't say the word specific, but this is the specific feedback. If they select choice 1, this one right here, this is what their response is going to be. Why that is incorrect. Here's their choice 2. No grade. It's not right. Here's choice 3. Here's the question. It's one of the 2 answers, so they get 50% of the grade. And here is their feedback for that one. So as you can see, you fill in all the boxes, giving them their formative feedback and save the changes, and that is how that works.